Alright, so I watched Kyle Kalinski's video, which, Kyle Kalinski, what is that? With a name like Kyle Kalinski, I'm just like, do you have a Jew somewhere in your background? Are you ethnically Jewish? Whatever. Anyways, um, the video was something about Lebanese kindergarten, blah, blah, blah. Shelling nearby, blah, blah, blah. And he always talks about, he constantly talks about Israel wanting to make greater Israel. Okay, so, yeah. And throughout the course of the video, um, it's talking about Lebanon and stuff. Um, and I'm just like, yeah, a couple things. I don't think. Okay, I'm going to kind of wander back and forth on certain points. I don't think Israel has the uh, military stockpile to do to Lebanon at all, around the area. What they did to Gaza, uh, uh, which is annihilate the entire area. Just wipe it completely. Um, so, and I also don't doubt that the leadership of Israel, I can't speak for all, have some, whatever it is, of the Israeli populace. I believe that it is true. The leadership of Israel apparently does want the Greater Israel plan. Um, it certainly appears so. The way their military has more and more over the term of Israel's existence behaved militarily, as less and less a defensive military and more a it's gone from defensive to preemptive strike now to outright aggressive military. It seems totally makes the claim that, you know imminent threat must attack, when it's like, whatever. So since I believe they don't really have the ability to do to Gaza what do to anybody else what they did to Gaza, and I really don't know if anyone other than maybe China, Russia, United States, India, those four, probably the only nations that either have the stockpile, have the industrial capability to build and continuously build the stockpile, the necessary weapons to do something like that. So, if Israel would want to do something like that, they'd have to get the weapons from one of those four. Yeah, China's going to do it. Sure, Russia's going to do it. India, yeah. That leaves one, U.S., which, but I doubt they're going to be able to get that kind of weapons over that kind of time frame. So I believe what's more likely is their military objective is bomb and bomb and bomb enough to cause mass exodus, total exodus. So that, they can do West Bank style land grab. And I believe Israel, they want that. Um, for some sort of population replacement thing. They want the next stage after that next big land grab that they're gonna do is, they're gonna be like start encouraging through whatever means they're planning on doing huge families. I don't know. Whatever they do, a new population boom to go in and whatever. They want a population surge, good Jews to go in there and move. Something like that. That's like Netanyahu's vision. Like, oh, we're gonna have good Jewish households and blah blah. Well, whatever is going on in his brain. He's like he's like looking back at 1950s America with like images of the mom and dad and 3 kids, 2 sons and a daughter. He's like, look at that 1950s image, and he's like, oh, if only Israel could be like that, with a good mom and pop and 3 kids, 4 kids, 7, 10 kids. Just all these kids, all these nice kids around Hanukkah. I don't even know what they have, because you don't have a tree for Hanukkah, so obviously there's a menorah somewhere in there. Maybe all of them having dreidels. Rolling the dreidels on the Dungeons and Dreidel board. I don't know. What the fuck? I don't know about Hanukkah. What do you do at Hanukkah? I don't know. Eat a what is it? It's not a eat a brisket. Whatever. Someone comment. What do you do for Hanukkah? What do you have for Hanukkah? So, yeah. Whatever's going on in there. And that's what they would do. And to me, that screams of some kind of weird, kind of almost maybe some diagnosable mental psychosis. Maybe some childhood trauma, something from childhood. I don't know, did his parents or grandparents something Holocausty that they were just like pounded it into his head? It was like the Jews will rise again, kind of like the Confederate, the Jewish version of the Confederacy or some shit like that, and that's why he's doing that. I don't know. It's all very strange to me that this could be going on like this, and it's just very weird. But as far as the whole that, I felt like putting that out there. And the Iran thing, you know, yada yada. It also seems like Israel's, that segment of Israel that is so dead set on greater Israel is, I don't know, maybe just a little, they got a bug up their ass about, well, maybe our country is so small and we need more land to live on and stuff, something like that. And look at Iran; it's so big; they have so much land to live on. And maybe that's, I don't know. Everybody else has so much, and we have so little. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm watching another video. Get some insight maybe while I rest my brain. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, supposedly Israel has its own weapons manufacturing companies and stuff. I don't know. I think in a country that small, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of ways that you can really be very self-sufficient. I don't think that in the long term you can supply yourself. Israel can supply itself. In any kind of real military campaign. Um, in terms of like an air campaign or anything like that. The way they've been doing it so far. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do have control of some sort of internal supply chains for all the materials, but I don't know. Somehow I just don't see that they have a very, maybe they do have a pipeline for all the materials, but it would be, I don't know, because you need like nitrogen, sulfur, all that stuff. Or maybe they just get it plain and simple from desalinated water, growing plants, feeding people. People take a shit and they use all the recycled, and then they turn that into bombs, and then they're like, well, we got metals from that and all that stuff. But again, all of these kinds of processes, you usually have a bottleneck somewhere along the line. And even if it's just a bottleneck of a rate of production, that means that maybe you can only produce 200 of these things a day. Then you can only produce 200 of these things a day because of Europe being this small a country. So, whereas America, we can produce. We built, if we built up again like a war machine, we could produce 5,000 a day, and that would be only just barely scraping the anything. You could easily build up to producing 50,000 of these, what, JDAMs or whatever the fuck missiles you want to make. If we felt like ramping up hardcore military production. Now, that's just one kind of missile, too. You ramp up all kinds of missile production if it felt like it. Same thing with, again, China, India. And I'm sure Russia's producing a whole lot of shit, but they really kind of are. I mean, it's Russia. Russia does not have the greatest economy. So, anyways, let's see. That's just a thought. Although I'm pretty sure Israel does pretty good for only having 10 million people. And I don't want to give my ideas away for military technology to fucking Trump or China or anyone, because whatever. I was just thinking of the way I do it, and I wanted to make sure that it was not fucking on the internet, because my shit is better than what I've seen anyone do so far. But like I said, I make love, not war, motherfuckers. All right, what are we doing? Oh, Kyle Kalinske. It's another video from Kyle Kalinske. It's about Israel whines that invading soldiers get attacked in Lebanon to UN, which is excellent. This one is about Israel bitching that bitching that Hezbollah is using. It's like, oh, Hezbollah is using drones against us in our ground invasion of Lebanon and stuff. It's just like, dude, so you're mad that somebody's punching back at you when you're hitting them? Like, what a little pussy bitch. Dude. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Ah, dude, what are you doing? Ah, stop hitting. Ah, motherfucker. That's not the game I came here to play. Mom, he's not letting me hit him. Again, I would say something, but YouTube doesn't like it when you criticize a certain group of individuals. They can play the H card. Let's see. Well, he just played a compilation of either Lebanese or Hezbollah done drone attacks on stuff. And it's just like, yeah. Drones are a tricky beast to overcome if you're using what used to be conventional things, tanks, jeeps, armored personnel carriers, that sort of thing. Conventional munitions delivery systems. Big, relatively slow, slow relative to drones, and that sort of thing. Yeah. And they're and as always, military any military commander, anybody that is in the military in a command position, usually, pretty much. I mean, if you've studied military, if you know military's in the real thing, I mean, first of all, defense is pretty much always easier. I mean, unless you're like, oh, well, no, we're bombing from the air. It's like that's, high altitude bombing and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of not what I'm talking about. But defending is almost always easier. But the resistance, being on the resistance side is fighting a guerrilla war is just the crappiest position to be in by orders of magnitude, always. And when you're fighting against drones, that's basically what you're doing. You're fighting you're fighting against the resistance movement, and then you're fighting against the resistance movement with fighting against drones, which is like worse. Because the U.S. had to fight against the resistance movement with IEDs, which IEDs were crappy, but at least you could like sort of depend on like the armor in the bottom of your vehicle, which like, all right, that gave me a chance and everything, But these drones, like, it's more deadly. So it could hit you, or maybe it'll like aim for the fuel in your fucking truck, or maybe that rocket, that SAM, that fucking anti-air fucking rocket launcher, and fucking blow all of them up, and then yeah, you're running away and you're 15 feet away, but that explosion, I don't know, man. You'd be lucky to get away from that, because that's all that explosion, all that explosive force, plus a whole shitload of crap coming at you too. So it's like that might kill everyone in the area too. So it's just like now you got a whole different fucking thing to deal with. And I'm betting it's going to take a little while to come up with something to deal with that, because it's like we were just starting to figure out an okay way to deal with IEDs, and then these things came along. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, maybe stop killing everybody and trying to take over the world with, basically try to take over the world with capitalism, and then use military and just be like, well, we can't take over the world with capitalism. Let's throw our military over there. But these people, I mean, it's just like dude, you're trying to like shove everything down everybody else's throat any way possible. That's what this all stems from. It all stems from fucking you wanting to fucking basically grab everybody's money. Like, I will have your money. Basically, that's what it is. That's what it is. In the form of money. That's all it is. And who does that? Republicans. That's all it is. That's all it is. Basically, if you want to look for the reason of all of this crap in the world, it's the Republican ethos. Your stuff is my stuff. It was my stuff before. Well, it was my stuff before I saw it. Now I saw it. And it's my stuff. I don't care that you were there. I don't care that you've been there. I don't care that your parents, your grandparents, and your grandparents' have been there. It's my stuff because I'm a Republican and I'm a dick. So you can give it to me and live, or you can die and now I have it. So, I mean, like, I'm giving you a choice between a shitty choice and a shitty choice. And you know what? I have a gun now, so why don't you just die? And then they go home, get on TV and be like, we are peacemakers. I believe in peace. And all while wearing their nice American lapel pin with a nice little American flag. Don't you love how it's just little and stuff? It's all so cute, like a little baby. Oh, it's just so cute. And it's like, what? Can't you see how these fuckers are just fuckers, man? What a... You just want talking more, whatever. I want to say this again, if I've not said this enough. I don't like the term anti-Semite. I think it's dumb. I think it's an obfuscatory term. I think it's like, oh, you're an anti-Semite or you're Islamophobe or whatever. First of all, Islamophobe, what does that mean? I'm an arachnophobic. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm afraid of spiders. Islamophobe. Oh no, there's a Muslim. Petrified. No. Islamophobe. No, Islamophobe means you hate Muslims. That's not in tune with, it should be Islamahate or something like that. So let's get the wording right. Anti-Semite. No, I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm just a Jew hater. That should be the right. That should be what you say. You're not an you're a Jew hater, or you're. Let's come up with a better word for this. Preferably one with pop. Like I don't know. I got to think on this because anti-Semite is like, oh, you're an anti-Semite. Like, oh, really? What the fuck does that mean? Anti-Semite. You're against Semites. No, I actually like trucks. They deliver all the food and stuff I buy. So I'm really pro-Semis. I just kind of think Jews are annoying and twerpish and need to be punched in the balls. Uh, Other than that, I kind of like Jews. You know, they make good movies. I hear they make pretty good sandwiches. I just want to punch them in the balls, but you know, good peoples. So, and for the Jew haters out there, you know, we need a better word. We need a better word to describe that group of people that hates Jews. They're not Jew hater. It doesn't pop. It doesn't zip. You know, it's Jew hater. It's kind of like they bump against each other. It needs to flow. The description of your anger and angst needs to whoop. Uh, so, you know, get on that. Get on that title. You and the people that want to describe you need to come together and work on the terminology of what to call you. Anti-Semite. 4 syllables? 4 syllables. Really? You're making me do that much work to describe somebody? I don't think so. No, no, no. One, maybe two. All right. If you really can't think of one, you get two, fine. But no, 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 no. 4 syllables? No, no. I've said this before. It's the same thing with ethnic slurs. You gotta trim these things down. I got very little time in order to throw out my ethnic slur. So, you know, the only real reason, the one against, you know, the the hard R works probably is because of tradition. Um, and it's two. Boom, 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 boom. We're done. We wrapped it up, and everybody's good to go. You know, but the best ones are 1 syllable. You get it done. Fuck yeah, you've been this and that, and you know it goes good with hand gestures too. Ah, it's, it's good. Um, People need to know these things. When you're cooking something up, it's gotta be right there. And I tell you this because all you people that want to throw out the love of extreme rage and hate, when you're dealing this out, I don't want to read a book. All right, it's gotta be quick, like a fucking like a punch to the face, like one of those quick jabs, boom, right in your face, and it's like all right. I'm not trying to go through a big multi combo deal here, no. So yeah, anti-Semite, anti-Semite. I'm sorry. Are you done insulting me? I can wait here for another 5 minutes, but you know, if so, I'm gonna have to pull up a chair. You know, like read a book. I was angry, but you know, by the time you get done with this, I don't know. I think I think the peace accord might be ready to be struck. There we go. Sorry I went off on such a trail there, but whatever. You gotta say it again. It has to be known. Okay, so the video that I watched now is Cenk Uygur unleashes on smug British host, smearing him as anti-Semite. Yeah, so, this video is just basically about, they're weaponizing anti-Semitism. And of course they are. I mean, it's like, oh dear, calling anti-Semitism. It's like I did something bad. Anti-Semitism shield activated. Now you can't punish me for anything. It's like, oh no, I accidentally murdered my wife. Wing! Anti-Semitism shield. Murder charge defeated. Like, dude, I didn't know that was, I don't know that was possible. Like, dang. All Jews should have a fucking ring, and they can just be like, boom! Anti-Semitism shield. Fucking power on. Boom! And it just, a fucking lawyer pops out and he just fucking reads off fucking like, are you an anti-Semite? You are an anti-Semite if, one, my client is guilty because blah, 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 anti-Semitism, anti-Semitism, anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. Just keep saying anti-Semitism in front of the judge until it's like, well, I guess case dismissed. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Bam, high five. The Jew gets off of murdering his wife or her husband. Why? Power. This ring. Dude, it fucking worked. The best thing is it doesn't just work in America. It works fucking everywhere. I'm selling them, by the way, for the low price of 3 payments of $999.95. I don't know, maybe more. The price might go up. Lawyer sold separately. Yeah, lawyer sold freaking separately. There's going to be a big terms and conditions thing that goes with it, by the way. Alright, so the next video that he does, I think I'm just going to cover all of dude's videos in one. Trump's total destruction of science is a nightmare come true. Oh, yeah. I would like to be a scientist. The only problem with being a scientist is you can't be a scientist. You can't just be a scientist, really. I mean, this ain't 250 plus years ago where you could be a scientist. I didn't know that when I was like 12 years old. Like, no, it's too much information. No, you gotta pick. You gotta pick. And you can't even really just be, oh, I want to be a biologist. No. You gotta be like a freaking a microbiologist, but no, that's too freaking, that's too broad. No, like you got to be like a sub specialist now, because there's too much freaking crap out there. That's like the sad thing. I think that's why I didn't become a scientist, because it's just like, man, fuck it. It's like in order to be a basketball player, you got to be like so friggin' good. There's no point in being a basketball player anymore. There's no point in being great at anything, because you got to be so friggin' great that it's like you got to be like a friggin' dynamite great. That's like, why even try? Like, as friggin' excellent you are, even in a pretty big pond, you're number one. You keep on rising, and it's just like, man, how do I keep up? Dude, you got to keep going full steam all the time. It's just like, man, fuck it. And you slip up. In this day and age, man, you slip up, you stop, take a break, and rest for a day, and it's like those other three people that you were staying ahead of, all of a sudden they're in front of your ass now, and you're just like, I ain't catching up to them. Like, it's like, dude, either I full steam ahead and wait for all three of them to take a break, or it's just like, I don't know, it's like, you fucked. That's the world we live in now. It's like, dude. And then you have the people that are like, well, that's not a reason to try. And I'm like, yeah, it is, bitch. That is the only reason to not try. It's the perfect reason to not try. And the second perfect reason to not try is because look at what they did to the world. It's totally fucked. It's better to wait and be like, okay, are they going to unfuck the world? It's looking like there's a chance, just a small chance, the world might be getting on the path to unfuckery. It's possible. There's a tiny little narrow, I mean, it's possible. It might actually happen. We might go towards the path of unfuckery. So, I don't know. I'm lacing up the boots. You know? Like, maybe I get back on this bitch. Get ready to, because from everything I'm getting, it seems like some people are kind of waking up. Like, maybe this thing might turn around. I don't know. Anyways, what is this? Oh yeah, this whole science nightmare come true garbage. Let's see. That whole piece, I'm eating again, by the way. Taco, Nacho Bel Grande, I'm eating again. That whole piece, Trump's total destruction of science is nightmare come true, was just it. If you've ever read The Onion, it's probably mostly online now. When it was not an online thing, basically, I don't know, maybe whatever. It's just like that whole piece was basically like an onion piece. It was just like, it's just like, wow, this is just comical crap that is happening to the Trump administration. It's just like this is what happens when, I mean, they got no skills. King Doofus with a bunch of other doofi trying to run a country. And it's just like, what should have happened is Trump should have been like, Trump should have found someone who actually was really, who was like, this guy would make a great president, would make a great everything. Great president, great chooser of people to staff everything, do the job great in every respect. I know how to win. I'll do the winning of the election, but I ain't gonna fucking run anything because that part, I know I'll suck at. So, you know, let me run the campaign and just like advise-ish the guy. You know, if only we could have like you can do everything to be like, yeah, I'm the president. And they'll be like, okay, so I know you voted for me and everything, but I know I'm gonna suck at this job, right? But I also know who's perfect for the fucking job, and it's gonna be great. Who is actually gonna do all the things that I said I was gonna do? I give you that. And be like, now that the job that I was going to do is done with, I'm going to go back to my house and jerk off for the rest of my life. People are like, oh, we voted for you. We're like, yeah, but I know I would do a shit job. So, you know, peace. And be like, damn, fuck you, fucker. And be like, for the moment, we would have hated the guy. And then all of a sudden, you know, 3 months later, country has turned around, everything's going great. Be like, damn, this new system we have is fucking awesome. We got a guy that runs a fantastic campaign, wins our hearts and everything, does everything right to win, and then dude hands off the fucking crown, basically, to the guy that he knows will actually do a good job. It's like, what's that race called where you hand the batons off? Fucking, it better not be called a baton race. I don't know. We used to run those in gym class. kind of sucked because you gotta like, you'd run and then like the other person would start running and then you'd be like, they'd be up to speed and you hand them and you gotta like, you know, like it kind of sucked because like, you gotta be like gentle about handing them and all that stuff. Well, it's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, you hand it off, the next person, they do a better job than you because you did your job. You got, essentially, you got your party elected. But you were just the guy. You were just a good liar. Essentially, that's all Trump was. He's a good liar. He doesn't know how to manage shit. Maybe he's the guy that knows the guy. That's all. Maybe he should have been that. Maybe his vice president should have been a boring piece of shit that actually knows what he's doing. And he should have just been like, so, I'm resigning. This is the guy that you want for 4 years. But he didn't even have the balls to pick a vice president. That's like good, because it's really JD Vance. I would be shocked if they just impeach and remove Trump, so in a way that makes JD Vance the president, and all of a sudden JD Vance gets in office and starts doing shit, and he actually does shit that starts working. I'd be speechless. Like, I would be like, I never knew this dude. Oh my God, really? Like, this? You're fucking joking. Like, really? This is what you were planning? Like, okay. I mean, whatever works, I guess. Republicans will still hate you, You're going to have to run as an independent probably because the Democratic Party ain't going to stick behind you. So, good. Run as an independent. You fix shit. For the rest of Trump's term, run as an independent. We'll destroy both the Democratic and Republican parties and, we'll fix shit. Sounds good. Well, you gotta have to put in some serious overtime for the rest of Trump's term. And yada yada yada, all sorts of shit. Mm. 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 Alright, so I finally finished that food, which I don't think I'll be eating anything else today. And I finished the ex-MAGA host's unload on Trump. And that is maybe that's basically it of Kyle for today, which is basically it for this week. So that's that. Young Don isn't doing anything today either. Oof. So that's that for this. Oh, a little tiring. I wanted to say I didn't. I hope that between this video and a few recent ones, I hope I'm not seeming to unload too unfairly on Israel, the government or its people, citizens. Too much or too unfairly. I have criticisms like that are unsaid and verbalized about the U.S. Also, I mean, and about myself. If you think I'm not hard on myself, boy, you don't even. So it may just seem that way. There we go. Now we got a decent cherry finally on there. Jeez. So, anyone out there is feeling bruised and battered, let me just put this out there. You're not the only one. A lot of criticism, a lot of whatever to go around, but also a lot of love, a lot of beauty, a lot of good vibes too. So I'm talking kind of low and slow because I just ate. So yes, about another pack of cigs I'm gonna try. Unable to really proceed as planned, so I'm gonna try and try again. The if at first you don't succeed kind of mantra. As I did, quit many times before. I started again because I wanted to start again. So, I didn't start again because I needed to start again. I started because I wanted to start again. So, I mean, you should be able to smoke cigarettes if you want to smoke cigarettes. Especially in today's time where you know how potentially bad they are. You should be able to go out and drink if you want to drink, knowing how bad it is for you. Hopefully, at this age, we all are a little bit aware. Shouldn't do it too much. And if you do it a little bit more, then you should, maybe. After a little while, you should stop, take a break, clean up. I didn't. I, when I stopped drinking soda and stuff for a while, I didn't, I learned a couple things. I kind of realized things like I didn't realize I wasn't going to miss soda, sugar, whatever. Like once I got over, the 3 day hump is like universal for like kind of. I don't know how it is for cocaine and heroin and all that other stuff. I can't apply it to stuff like that. But for anything that I've ever quit, like 3 days is like has been pretty solid for me. After 3 days, 72 hours, it's pretty much like done. And after that, I was like, I didn't really miss it very much. And I was kind of surprised. I was like, I don't really need any of that. And I was a little surprised by how much I didn't miss drinking soda and stuff. So, I'm just trying to keep that kind of memory around and just be like, it's not going to be that bad, actually. Like, I know I love doing it. I love drinking soda and having caffeine and everything. It's great. It's great while you're doing it and everything. Don't really need it though, honestly. Once you're done with it, it's like, and not having it is excellent for getting to bed too. In particular, staying asleep, Mr. Caffeine Soda. Apparently, smoking also, um, nicotine also keeps you awake. Not nearly as much as caffeine, but smoking does the same thing. Nicotine does the same thing. So when I was off both of those, like I was going to sleep much easier. Apparently, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see about that. See how this goes next try. Kind of round two. I'll be running down to it a little bit. Another friggin' hour long one. A lot of video reviews. I don't know why anybody would ever, you know, this is me talking into this. This is not like for someone. So I don't know why anybody would click on, would actually watch this. This is, if you just click on this to, why would you watch this? It's another train coming. Where are these trains going? I mean, I'm assuming they're coming from the, well, they're leaving the refinery areas. Hold on, pause. Okay, so yeah, I was just saying, why would anyone watch this? It's a train running by. So now the train is gone. Why would anyone watch this? Why would anyone watch any of my videos that are an hour plus, or even I don't know, more than a half hour? I don't know. At this point, with 44, the last time I checked, it was 44 subscribers. I think I've built up a social cachet, really, to warrant an hour of your time. I mean, if you're willing to give me an hour of your time, go for it. I mean, totally. But I don't know. There's a lot of dead air in most of these 1 hour videos. So, again, I still don't know where this freaking blue garbage light comes from. I could probably investigate it, but I just don't feel like doing it. All right, whatever. And if anyone happens to be actually watching these hour-long videos for the entire video, don't be offended that I'm saying don't watch the video either. Don't be like, fine, fuck you. I won't watch it for a fucking hour. I'm just saying, like, this is not peak entertainment typically that I'm giving you for an hour. I don't think. I mean, if I had a staff, they could probably pick out good clips. And or if I felt like, editing, they could maybe pick out good clips. But, I don't feel like editing. So, Alright, I'm gonna let my video end there. Okay? Alright. You kept the rich, tax the rich, and oh, I said it in the wrong order. Well, tax the rich and he kept the rich. Tax wealth, not work, and lots of boobs, people. I wish boobs on lots of people. Oh man. This is going to take some effort to digest, isn't it, Belly? Yes, it is. Peace. Love and all of that good stuff.